Hello again, my most beautiful love angels. Thank you as always for your continued attendance and unwavering support that both humbles and empowers me. ClownCon, the Oasis, is a new type of experience I'm excited to share with you all, though you may be wondering how it differs from ClownCon Decides. Clownbo's not so spooky election freaktacular. The Oasis is intended to connect with the innermost reaches of your id and delight your neural passages. Whereas ClownCon Decides was a waking experience, ClownCon, the Oasis, is experienced entirely in your dreams and features no accompaniment, neither visually nor auditorily. The broadcast is hosted by Furpocalypse Incorporated, serves only to stimulate your mind to be accepting of the Oasis, such that we may meet. The world of ClownCon, the Oasis, is as strange as it is vast, and I am elated to guide you to our new home in your mind's eye. We will soon begin with our closing ceremonies, not to end our events, but to signify the closing of your eyes. I will serenade you into the dream convention space we have so lovingly crafted for you, and you will experience our opening ceremonies. This event not only marks the beginning of ClownCon, the Oasis, but marks the opening of your mind. Allow me to shepherd you to a world of fancy, and remember to stay safe. I love you, most cherished of my congregation, and I bid you sweet dreams. We shall meet again soon.
presents the Oasis.
Wow, this place looks great. I'm glad you were able to find me with everything going on. Hey, are you ready? Let's go. Oh, good. Looks like the line is pretty short. Yeah, I guess we're early. We should be at the front of the line in no time.
You got any ID?
Come on, man. You know me.
Okay, your stuff is on that table.
Yeah, that's what I thought. People these days. No respect.
And how about you, your ID? Okay, it'll be the same table over there.
I already got yours. Here. Ugh, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this since my birthday. I was looking at the panels on my phone, but I have this feeling like having this on you will be good. To not forget when you go in. Have you ever done this before? Yeah, it's my first time. I'm really excited.
Hey, yo, RV.
Oh, baby, what's my man, my main man, my bread and butter. How are you?
Oh man, this year is amazing. I can't believe you actually got to meet him.
Hey, we don't talk about that here, okay? No spoilers.
Well, I'm just leaving, so I'll see you inside, guys.
God, I love them. But sometimes, yeah, whatever. My object permanence is acting up again. Is this the right way? I'm trying to find the your first DreamCon thing. Oh, okay. I'll follow you.
All right, fill these seats first. Come with me. Fill these seats first. Thank you.
I can't see him. The guy's in front of me.
What's that guy doing?
Is that Clown? Is that Clown? Oh, is he here? Is that him? Is that them?
Where is he?
I've never. When is this supposed to start? I've only communicated in dreams.
Yo, where the fuck's the water?
Welcome to the Oasis.
Hey everyone please take your seats. We're just trying to fill up the room.
Please, we're trying to fill the room.
It's a very popular event, as you all can understand.
This is your first DreamCon.
As we understand it, probably for a lot of you, it's your first DreamCon, and we want to welcome everyone to the space. It's a very welcoming environment.
This is a safe space we're trying to create here. It can be very nerve-wracking to be at your first DreamCon.
Absolutely.
It's a totally different experience from the physical con space.
What's your name? Oh,
My name is Bup.
No, that's a good name.
Thank you. That's my dream name. That's not my real name. I mean,
You
it is
know?
my real name. It's my true name, but it's my dream name. It's not my physical name.
That's a good name.
That's a good name. What's your name?
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Lou.
Lou?
Lou?
Okay.
Lou.
That's
Okay,
my
Lou.
dream name. It's a very
Oh.
good dream name.
It is a good dream name. I like the trailing up at the end.
And you, what's
Yeah,
what's your
what's your
dream name?
I'm Sue.
Sue.
So very
Okay,
good name.
Very good name.
We all have really good names here.
Mhm.
Please, everyone, take a moment. Think what is your dream name? It
Mhm.
can be the name you typically go by, something brand new, something unspeakable,
Something
but
Not
like
from,
fathomable.
physically, not like in a bad way.
yeah,
Exactly,
not in a
exactly.
bad way, but it could be
Uh-huh.
something different.
Precisely. We're trying
Yeah.
to create just
Yeah.
a good, relaxed environment
Just
here.
a really chill zone, kind of for everyone.
So just choose whatever feels natural and what feels good.
So,
And
Be,
if you need any help, come find us.
yeah, if you need
Absolutely.
any help, just come find us. So before we talk about what we can do at this DreamCon,
Mhm.
I'd like for us to
Mm.
look at the news. So, I have a new one here. The extraterrestrials have been visiting the Earth. This is from
That's good.
an academic
I
from
see.
That's good.
Rockledge, Florida. His name is Jeffrey Walensky, and I'd like to read you the abstract.
Yeah, talk to us about
Please.
it.
Please.
Yeah. Since the U.S. government and all the branches of the U.S. government refuse to directly state we are being visited by extraterrestrials
Okay.
and physical metallic craft, I will do it. We're being
Okay,
visited.
that's good.
Yeah, I know. We're being visited by people from other star systems in physical metallic craft. This paper is dedicated to the late Stanton T. Friedman. Friedman was 100% correct. Some UFOs are flying saucers that do not have origins on Earth. Their origins are from other star systems which have civilizations more technologically advanced than our own. Their reasons for visiting Earth and watching us are various. I think it is quite straightforward. They are presenting themselves as if to say, "Hi, you are not
Hello.
alone.
Hello.
Hello."
Hello.
Hello.
That's really good.
That's
I really
really good.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can we? Is it okay if I may be so bold? May I start getting into some points here?
Absolutely.
For our
let's-
audience?
I think
let's
it's
talk
only
about
So, the first things first. What can you do at a DreamCon? What can you expect to find in the Oasis?
that's an absolutely valid question that
That's
I'm sure
such
a
a
lot of
valid
people are
question.
having. And
Mhm.
what you can do for sure is that you can experience it.
That's true. I'm
Yes.
experiencing it right now.
Think about the DreamCon as if a flow, and you are simply a river between two connecting sort of bodies of water, and
Yeah.
sort
Okay.
of let DreamCon kind of flow through you
Okay.
in that respect.
I see. That makes
You know,
sense.
you may be led to believe that just because you have an experience within your dreams and that your stature is sit-abound by your bed in your sleeping receptacle in which you
Mhm.
rest your legs, that one is not able to ambulate. But in fact, in your own lucidity, we encourage you to
Mhm.
ambulate at this DreamCon, something that we think is only healthy for staying safe.
It's really important that you ambulate whenever possible.
Yeah.
And absolutely, don't be afraid to sort of adjust your physical feelings to suit your current environment. It's one thing that a lot of people don't consider sort of when dreaming. They're kind of focusing on a lot of the mental and emotional aspects, but be sure to ground yourself, touch something, just feel the wall, kind of get your sense of cardinal directions that way.
Yeah, it's very easy to get lost in the dream space.
Absolutely.
So you gotta adjust your feelings and be mindful. It's a lot different than it is in the physical world. And one way that it's different is you got to keep in mind the levels of dreams.
Oh man.
So right
Very
now,
important.
the
yes, I remember my first DreamCon. I went up to level 5. It was very
Whoa.
dangerous.
whoa.
Yes, please.
No, I just wanted to really quick for our audience. Level 5 is still in the realm of the Oasis. The Oasis goes up to level 6. Anything beyond that though, and it's the wild west out there. So please be careful. I know it's very tempting to jump dream levels, but that's really for experienced users only.
Mhm.
Yes, it's not like how they put it in the movies.
No, not at all.
Although, even though it is dangerous, we do entrust our attendees to have sort of a mindfulness about them and be respectful. It's dream hopping and dream level hopping especially is dangerous, and it's very dangerous to change your level very quickly as well. But we're all adults here. So
Sort of
just
a choose
be
your own
mindful.
adventure
Yeah, exactly.
situation, kind of.
Yeah.
Take it as it comes.
Precisely. Yeah.
One thing we really want to kind of really hamper on is the buddy system. So definitely don't go especially beyond the convention space. Level level 6 and beyond. Bring a buddy with you. Those spaces are made to be explored, and they're part of all of our psyches. But it's sometimes it's scary to go at it alone. So
Yes.
definitely make sure you always got a friend.
As you can see, we ourselves are using the buddy system even at a level 1. We have a buddy here. I
Exactly.
have 1 buddy, 2 buddies. And, they don't call me Sue for nothing.
No, we don't.
No,
We
they
don't do
don't.
that.
No, they don't. You
No,
call
we would
your-
never do that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
We could never do that.
I'm so grateful for our friendship and our allegiance to the buddy system. I think it's a good time to talk about getting rid of a debt-based money system. The answer, as always, is to think of a coupon system. It could be electronic.
Absolutely.
It could have an expiry date, and you could even self-destruct, but the coupons would be for basic necessities, food and housing and transportation, maybe even a health system. The greed could be incorporated within that system for better food and housing and cars if humanity would require it. Personally, I think it's best to get rid of the greed and just have all the basics covered for everyone. You put far less strain on the person or organization that issues them. I would say, please don't forget my coupons for the beer.
Definitely. And so your DreamCon registration does come with a set of free coupons for multiple prizes and sort of
sort of raffles situations.
Yeah.
And tickets that can be exchanged for prizes at different exchange rates.
Absolutely.
Really quick, just to jump back a bit in our conversation. The buddy system is important not only for dream levels, but you want to keep it in mind if you find yourself bubble hopping.
Absolutely.
I realized that we had, maybe glossed over that, and, we want to keep in mind that we have some fresh faces in the audience here.
Right.
And we just want to make sure that they're, they stay safe.
Right. Bubble hopping is a very it's a very integral part of DreamCon, and we want to make sure that everyone gets to experience sort of everything that DreamCon has to offer. But absolutely, buddy system is, dare I say, the most important takeaway that you should get from this. If there's one thing from your first DreamCon, have a buddy.
Have a buddy with you at all times, especially if you find yourself dream level hopping or dream bubble hopping. Both of which are can be very dangerous activities. They're safe, but the more you do it and the more intense of a level hop or bubble hop that you perform, then the more dangerous it becomes.
Right.
So
yes.
Know your limits. Even if you're a fresh face here, you might be safe to jump to level 2 or 3, but just really be careful. You got to know your own limits.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
just keep a buddy with you.
Speaking
When bubble hopping, sorry, real quick, just one last point on bubble hopping, if that's okay. So for bubble hopping, you're going to want to direct your gaze, and you're going to want to imagine it.
You're going to want to imagine
You're going to want to imagine
the And what's really important to note here is that this point is completely fleshed out, and there's no way that anyone stopped writing it in the middle of it. So once you imagine thee, you will get to thee. Can we all at least agree on that? That this was intentional? That's very good.
Once you imagine thee, you can get to be.
You
That
can
might
get
as
to
well be
thee.
the slogan of this panel.
you can. Let's pull down the huge banner that we had behind us the whole time. You can get to thee.
You can get to thee.
You can get to. Let's all say it together.
You can get to thee. Now, Sue, I didn't hear you say it with us. Can you say it with us, please?
Yeah, Sue. I need you to say it with us, okay? You got it, all right? We're gonna on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You can get to thee.
Louis, please.
I'm sorry. Can you say my name correctly?
Is it not?
It's Louis.
Not Louis.
I need to count a 5-to-1 ratio of Lou to E, please.
Lou?
It's very important.
Is it that?
That's closer. That's closer.
It was closer. That's all. That's within acceptable bounds.
Okay. Louis?
Lou?
I think you can redirect your attention to the bubble hopping just one more time. I think.
Yeah, I think as long as you imagine thee, you will be okay. Is there a rhyme we can? If you imagine thee, you won't cease to be.
Cease to be. So some band activities at this Oasis this year. First things first, no more REM skittering. I know that was a big problem a few years back that we had to
yes.
sort of address. But we want to reinforce this. It's really not something we want to catch you doing. That we have, it's not. We try not to be zero tolerance for everything, but this is one of those cases where it's just really like, just no REM skittering. Don't even try. We will know.
And we're looking at a lot of cases, based on like of course this is for your safety, but especially in the case of REM skittering,
exactly.
We're dealing with the safety of all of our other attendees as well. So just try to keep a sort of a safe mind, a sort of a thoughtful mind when you're sort of considering how you plan on bubble hopping.
That's so true.
Another thing is that there are no beta brainwaves allowed at this Oasis as well. Last year we allowed them, but this year we're trying to distance ourselves.
Only alpha
and really,
ones.
Precisely, you got it in one. Sue, it's only alpha
Sue.
brainwaves this year.
Sue.
Such a lovely name.
Can we talk about your name?
Your dream name is wonderful and beautiful.
I love your dream name. It complements your beautiful dream self.
I love you too, Lou.
No, that's not his dream name.
I think my dream name can adapt based on the circumstance.
That's fair.
With alpha brainwaves, it's another circumstance where this is the first year that we're sort of trying something like this. And so if you guys could, if you want to specifically note this on your feedback form, that would be greatly appreciated, and it'll help us sort of decide, what kind of direction we take the next DreamCon in next year.
Yes, drugs are a very big business. Interacting with other dreamers is something that we want to keep in mind as you move along on this DreamCon. Small talk is, as always, very appreciated. As you could tell,
Absolutely.
we like to boast of the large talk, but the small talk is also of such great importance. Sharing your hopes. Well,
Absolutely.
I have not decided whether this is small talk or large talk. What do you think?
I think that sharing your hopes, it depends on the scope of the hope. I think it depends on really the context of the situation. I think that sharing your hopes casually can be small talk, but if you're really in a conversation about it, it ceases to become small talk and works its way up to medium or even large talk.
Yeah, sharing hope
Right, and
is
we all know that,
go. Please, I'm sorry.
Wait, no problem. There's a lot of delay at DreamCon, and so that's another thing you want to keep in mind when conversing is that, we only have the speed of light to deal with, and so,
Precisely.
it's a lot different than face-to-face conversation, and so
Yes.
physical manifestations of your words are really important to keep in mind. As we all know, a sphere is the most efficient sort of use of volume to surface area, and so my speech bubbles do take up a lot of space. But if I want to turn sort of big talk into small talk, I can twist that into a balloon animal, perhaps, or
that's artful.
I could even deflate the speech bubble, and then reinflate it for later. So
That's fair.
there are a lot of different. Definitely, don't be afraid to add physicality to certain non-physical actions, as they would be the case when you're awake.
Oh my, I think that was one of my fantasies.
And speaking of your fantasies, you may indulge each other in your mutual fantasies. This is a DreamCon after all. I'm not saying that there are no rules here, but go wild. We very much we're very big fans of lucid dreaming and being able to sort of shape your own dreamscape. And we have sort of designated areas that you'll find where you can sort of shape the sort of fabric of the reality that forms the Oasis right now.
Yes, like ancient Greece.
Just like ancient Greece.
We have workshops available for those of you who are more into sort of external matter manipulation, and so for those people, you'll definitely find that one of our many panels will be very well suited to your liking.
Something that we need to also talk about, just some more warnings, generally speaking. Outside the convention space, you'll find that there is sort of a floating island situation where the convention center is held, but beyond that is the Spirit Wilds.
To the Spirit Wilds.
And the Spirit Wilds can be beautiful and exactly. The Spirit Wilds can be beautiful, and they can be haunting.
Buddy system.
And they can be, enthralling and
buddy system.
The buddy system. If you go into the Spirit Wilds, we cannot stress this enough. You're going to want to use the buddy system. You will get lost. It's like underwater cave diving in the waking world. It's very dangerous. So you really need sort of a life support, so to speak. But do feel free to explore. There is plenty to see if you do get out there and you're safe.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a buddy with you, there's we can only set up so much that we do within DreamCon, and so if you do want to explore the Spirit Wilds, see what's out there, what creatures you can find, what spirits you can meet, definitely do not be afraid to sort of seek outside of the designed experience and kind of see where your mind wanders.
Exactly, and if you see any water in the Spirit Wilds, you will want to be drinking.
You're going to want to drink that.
You're going to want to drink that water. Don't even ask us. It's better if you find out yourself, but just you're going to want to drink it.
I'd almost say it's a rule. I'd say definitely drink any water that you see while you're out there.
In the Spirit Wilds, yeah.
I wouldn't call it a rare occurrence, but it's definitely treading into uncommon territory.
Exactly. It's special when you find it.
To celebrate it is what we're trying to say.
Savor it.
Yeah, celebrations. I think it's important for you to breathe in deeply, breathe out, and just really get relaxed. And I want you to not worry too much about waking, but it can happen. Just
of course,
a moment's notice.
An inevitability, I would even say.
Yes. Just relax. And remember that being disoriented is a common feeling. Today,
nothing to be ashamed about.
Most people feel disoriented when they're awake, but being asleep and then waking, just remember, you're good. Fundamentally.
Absolutely.
And the Oasis will be waiting for you when you return.
We're always there for you.
You're good.
You're good.
You're good.
You are good.
You're good. What
buddy
you're feeling
system.
is common. You're good.
And you're going to want to use the buddy system.
And you're going to want
wherever
a buddy.
possible.
You'll be good.
Definitely level 7 and beyond. You're going to want to use the buddy system.
So, another thing at the Oasis, another grandiose feature of our wonderful con space, so provided to us. There are the bathrooms. You're going to want to enjoy the bathrooms. There's more than meets the eye. There's
Especially
a lot of
this
sort
year.
of hidden, especially especially
We
this
went
year.
all
have
out on the bathrooms,
we
if I
went-
do say so myself.
all out, no expense spared.
We went. Can I say it? We went too hard with the bathrooms this year. Next year we are going to dial it back. So enjoy.
Enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy
it while it
definitely.
lasts.
Yeah.
And hey, use the buddy system.
Use the buddy system. I don't want to have to repeat myself. Nothing happened. We really want to make sure that this stays.
E-
It stays in your head, yeah.
T.
Is there anything else that we need to go over? Because I think that those are the main points.
That just might about be all of our time for your first DreamCon.
YSYDDUB.
So that about does it for us this year. We went over the main things, but feel free to find a staff member. We still have the tortellini necklaces, and really just come and find us if you need any help. So big things. Remember the buddy system. Stay safe. No REM skittering. No beta brainwaves this year. Enjoy our bathrooms. Enjoy the spirit wilds, but be really careful. Buddy system again. If you level or bubble hop, again, buddy system. Direct your gaze. Imagine the. And I think that about does it. I think that wraps it up. So I want to thank you, our audience, for joining us this year.
Yes, thank you.
Have a wonderful first DreamCon. Enjoy your time in the Oasis. I'm Bup.
I'm Lou.
I'm so.
And thank you for your time.
Oh.
I'm parched. Should I get you something? Alright. No need to get aggressive. I'll get two.
Hey, I was trying to find you two. What panel did you guys do? Ah, cool. Listen, I'm having a room party and I want you guys to be there. If it's okay, can I have your numbers so I can follow up on DreamNet? You know what? Maybe it's better if you type it in yourself. Sweet. We'll see each other soon, yeah?
hope diet's okay. It's all they had.
Hey, I'm having a room party. I'll send you both the deets on DreamNet, or I can just send it on their phone. It's up to you.
If it's on theirs, I think it'll be fine. When?
For you guys, let's call maybe 2 or 3 from now, yeah?
2 or 3 what?
Hours?
Hours, days, they all feel the same to me.
Does that work for you?
It works.
Great. See you there. I gotta go. See ya.
All right. Ugh, the reception in here is terrible. DreamNet is so slow.
Right? I mean, oh my god, like, especially today.
Of all days to be slow, this is the least I'd expect it.
Right? I mean, for everyone here, it's the first day. I mean, what can you expect?
The energies are coalescing. You'd think that it'd speed up.
I think it would slow down. Well, I mean, do you know where this room is?
I think this is the place.
Yeah? I mean, I guess I'll trust your judgment here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what? You're very welcome.
I respect you as a friend and as a human being. Anyway.
Hey, there you are. Oh,
Yo,
I'm so glad you could make
what's going
it.
on?
Yeah, not much. Come on in. Let me show you around.
Oh wow, you got a suite this year.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got a good price on it. We've got
All
some
ceilings.
drinks over here. We've got some melatonin and Benadryl over here. And if you go in the bathroom, I set up a sensory deprivation tank in the bathtub.
You sly dog. You know I'm trying to
You
quit.
know me. Oh, I haven't had them since last month.
Who needs them?
ママからパパへパパから私へピッピッピッピッピッピッピップ私は彼へ暗い時は誰かと話してたいなほらほら用事もないのにハロー何してる知らないあなたの聞きたいそれだけ話したい
no idea where they could be. We've been wandering around these spirit wilds for at least minutes.
Yeah, it feels like it goes on forever.
That's probably just your perception.
Well, I mean, look around you. Like, it's crazy out here. Like, they could be anywhere.
Well, let's just keep looking. Hey, what's that up ahead?
Looks like a couple floating whales?
I haven't seen those in years.
Really? I mean, feels like those are the only things people dream about these days.
So, such a fad.
Well, is that them up ahead? I can't really tell.
I can't make it out past the blinding light on the horizon.
Let's just go up to them. Let's see if they're there.
You know what? I trust your judgment, as previously established.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time, or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
fucked it, friend. It's on its head. It struck the street. You're in Milwaukee off your feet. And once I knew I was not magnificent.
The easiest way to get into the meditative state is to begin by listening. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums and let them go.
Hello everyone, this is Bub, and I am here to introduce the guest of honor for this year's ClownCon, the Oasis. So would everyone please vibrate on higher frequencies to welcome our special guest. It's their first time here at the Oasis, so please give a warm welcome to Alan Watts.
The point that I wish to make most strongly is that behind a vital religious life for the West, there has to be faith which is not expressed in things to which you cling, in ideas, opinions to which you cling in a kind of desperation. Faith is the act of letting go, and that must begin with letting go of God. Let God go. But you see, this is not atheism in the ordinary sense. Atheism in the ordinary sense is fervently hoping that there isn't a God. It has become extremely plausible that this trip between the maternity ward and the crematorium is what there is to life. And we still have going into our common sense the 19th century myth which succeeded the ceramic myth in Western history. I call it the myth of the fully automatic model of the universe. Namely, that it's stupid, it's blind force, Haeckel's gyration or fortuitous congress of atoms is of the same vintage as Freud's libido, the blind surge of lust at the basis of human psychology. But when you consider this attitude, you know, what is the poetic counterpart of it? Man is a little germ that lives on an unimportant rock ball that revolves about an insignificant star on the outer edges of one of the smaller galaxies. God, what a put down that was. But on the other hand, if you think about that for a few minutes, I am absolutely amazed to discover myself on this rock ball, rotating around a spherical fire. It's a very odd situation. And the more I look at things, I cannot get rid of the feeling that existence is quite weird. I know that, see, a philosopher is a sort of intellectual yokel who gawks at things that sensible people take for granted. And sensible people, existence is nothing at all. I mean, it's just basic, and just go on and do something. See, this is the current movement in philosophy, Logical analysis says you mustn't think about existence. It's a meaningless concept. Therefore, philosophy has become the discussion of trivia, and philosophical journals is now as satisfactorily dull as any other kind of purely technical inquiry. No good philosopher lies awake nights worrying about the destiny of man and the nature of God and all that sort of thing, because a philosopher today is a practical fellow who comes to the university with a briefcase at 9 and leaves at 5. He does philosophy during the day, which is discussing whether certain sentences have meaning and if so what. And then he would, as William Earle said in a very funny essay, he would come to work in a white coat if he thought he could get away with it. The problem is he's lost his sense of wonder. Wonder is like, in modern philosophy, something you mustn't have. It's like enthusiasm in 18th century England. It's very bad form. But you see, I don't know what question to ask when I wonder about the universe. It isn't a question that I'm wondering about, it's a feeling that I have. Imagine, if you had an interview with God, everybody was going to have an interview with God, and you were allowed to ask one question. What would you ask? And don't rush into it. You will soon find that you have no idea what to ask. Because I cannot formulate the question that is my wonder. The moment my mouth opens to utter it, I suddenly find I'm talking nonsense. But that should not prevent wonder from being the foundation of philosophy. Well, as Aristotle said, wonder is the beginning of philosophy. Because it strikes you that existence is very, very strange. And then more so when this so-called insignificant little creature has inside his skull a neurological contraption that is able to center itself in the midst of these incredible expanse of galaxies and start measuring the whole thing. That is quite extraordinary. And then furthermore, when you realize that in a world where there are no eyes, the sun would not be light. And that in a world where there were no soft skins, rocks would not be hard. Nor in a world where there were no muscles would they be heavy. Existence is relationship, and you are smack in the middle of it. So, there is obviously a place in life for a religious attitude in the sense of awe, astonishment at existence. And that is also a basis of respect for existence. We don't have very much of it in this culture, even though we call it materialistic. A materialist is a person who loves material. And I suppose in the Christian tradition and in the Jewish, one would say that the Lord God is the greatest materialist. Because, you know, as William Temple once said, God is interested in many other things than religion. Were God only interested in religion, the world would consist of nothing but church buildings and Bibles and clergymen. And that would be pretty boring. So, in the culture that we call materialistic today, we are, of course, bent on the total destruction of material and its conversion into junk and poisonous gas as quickly as possible. This is not a materialistic culture because it has no respect for material. And respect is in turn based on wonder, on feeling the marvel of just an ordinary pebble in your fingers. So I'm afraid, you see, for the God is dead theology, that it will sort of drift off into secular do-goodery in the name of Jesus. And this is, I think, where we can be strongly revivified and stimulated by the introduction into our spiritual life of certain things that are oriental. Now you see, it must be understood that the crux of the Hindu and Buddhist disciplines is an experience, not a theory, not a belief. If we say that a religion is a combination of creed, code, and cult, In other words, this is true of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. And if they are religions, Buddhism is not. Because the creed is a revelation, a revealed symbolism of what the universe is about, and you are commanded to believe in it on the divine authority. The code is the revealed will of God for man, which you are commanded to obey, and the cult is the divinely revealed form of worship which you must practice. Commandment, because God is boss, He's ruler, King of kings and Lord of lords. But the disciplines, say, of yoga in Hinduism, or of the various forms of Buddhist meditation, do not require you to believe anything. And they have no commandments in them. They do indeed have precepts, but they are really vows which you undertake and on your own responsibility, not in obedience to anybody. They are experimental techniques for changing consciousness. And the thing they are mainly concerned with is helping human beings to get rid of the hallucination that each one of us is a skin-encapsulated ego. You know, a little source, a little man inside your head, located between the ears and behind the eyes, who is the source of conscious attention and voluntary behavior. Most people, you know, don't really think that they are anything but that, and that the body is a thing you have. Mummy, who would I have been if my father had been someone else? See, the parents give you the body, and you pop the soul into it at some period, conception or parturition, nobody could ever decide. And this attitude stays with us, that we are something in a body, that we have a body, and we are not it. So we experience the beating of the heart as something that happens to me, whereas talking or walking is something that I do. Don't you beat your heart? The language won't allow you to think that. It's not customary to say so. How do you think? How do you manage to be conscious? You don't know. How do you open and close your hand? Do you know? If you're a physiologist, you may be able to say, but that doesn't help you to open and close your hand any better than I do. See, I know how to do it, but I can't put it into words. In the same way, the Hindu God knows how he creates this whole universe because he does it. But he wouldn't explain it. That would be stupid. You might as well try to drink the Pacific Ocean with a fork. So when a Hindu gets enlightened and he recovers from the hallucination of being a skin-encapsulated ego, and finds out that central to his own self is the eternal self of the universe, and you go up to him and say, well, how do you do all this? He says, well, just like you open and close your hand. And because we're all it. Whenever a questioner used to come to Sri Ramana, the great Hindu sage who died a few years ago, they said to him, Master, was I living before in a previous incarnation? And if so, who was I? And he would say, who is asking the question? Who are you? And a spiritual teacher in both Hinduism and Buddhism is a kind of, well, what he does to awaken you, to get you over the hallucination of being the skin-encapsulated ego, he bugs you in a certain way. He has a funny look in his eye, as if to say, come off it, Shiva, I know what you're doing. You say, what, me? And he looks at you in a funny way. And finally, you get feeling that he sees all the way through you, and therefore that all your selfish and evil thoughts and nastinesses are transparent to this gaze. And then you have to try and alter them. He suggests, you see, that you practice the control of the mind, that you become desireless. You give up selfish desire so as to cease to be a skin-encapsulated self. And then you may have some success in quieting your mind and in concentrating. But then after that, he'll throw a curve at you, which is, but aren't you still desiring not to desire? Why are you trying to be unselfish? Well, the answer is I want to be on the side of the big battalions. I think it's going to pay better to be unselfish than to be selfish. Well, Luther saw that. Augustine saw that. But there it is. Because what he's done, you see, he's beginning to make you see the unreality the hallucinatory quality of a separate self. This has merely conventional reality in the same sense as lines of latitude and longitude, the measurements of the clock. That's why one of the meanings of Maya, illusion, is measurement. Things, for example, are measurements. They are units of thought, like inches are units of measurement. There are no things in physical nature. How many things is a thing? It's any number you want. Because a thing is a think, a unit of thought. It's as much of reality as you can catch hold of in one idea. So, when this realization of the hallucination of the separate self comes about, it comes about through discovering that your alleged separate self can't do anything. It can't improve itself, either by doing something about it or by doing nothing about it. Both ways are based on illusion. You see, this is what you have to do to get people out of hallucinations. You make them act consistently on the suppositions of the hallucination. People who believe that the earth is flat cannot possibly be talked into seeing that it's round, because they know it's flat. Because can't you see? So what you do is this, you say, let's go and look over the edge. Wouldn't that be fun? But you see, to be sure that we do get to the edge, we must be very careful not to walk in circles. So you perform a discipline. You go steadily and rigorously westwards along latitude 40 or something, and then when you get back to the place where you started, he is convinced that the world is at least cylindrical. By experiment. By reductio ad absurdum of his premises. And so in the same way, the guru, whether Hindu or Buddhist, performs a reductio ad absurdum on the premise of the skin-encapsulated ego. Well, what happens then? You might imagine from garbled accounts of Eastern mysticism that one thereupon disappears forever into an infinite sea of faintly mauve jello. And become so lost to the world and entranced that you forget your name, address, telephone number, and function in life. And nothing of the kind happens. The state of mystical illumination, although it may, in its sudden onset, be accompanied by a sensation of tremendous luminescence and transparency, as you get used to it, it's just like everyday life. Here are the things that you formerly thought were separate individuals, and here is you, who you formerly thought was merely confronting these other people. When the great Dr. D.T. Suzuki was asked, what is it like to be enlightened? He said, it's just like ordinary everyday experience, except about 2 inches off the ground. Because what is altered is not the way your senses perceive. What is altered is what you think about it. Your definitions of what you see, your evaluation of it. So when you don't cling to it, when you have no longer a hostile attitude to the world because you know the world is you, it is. I mean, let's take it from the point of view of biology. If I describe the behavior of a living organism, I cannot possibly describe that behavior without simultaneously describing the behavior of the environment. So that I discover that I don't describe organisms in environments, I describe a unified field of behavior called an organism environment. It's an awkward word, but there it is. The environment doesn't push the organism around. The organism doesn't push the environment around. They are two aspects or poles of the same process. And so you have to understand that this attitude towards nature, seeing the fundamental unity of the self which manifests it all, is not an attitude, as missionaries are apt to suppose, which denies the value of differentiation. You must understand the principle of what are called identical differences. Take a coin. The head side is a different side from the tail side, and yet the two are inseparable. Take the operation of buying and selling. Selling is a different operation from buying, but you can't buy unless somebody sells at the same time, and vice versa. This is what is meant by the underlying unity of opposites, what is called in Hinduism Advaita, or non-duality. Or when the Chinese use the word Tao to designate the way of operation of the positive and negative principles, the yang and the yin. It is not a unity that annihilates differences, but a unity which is manifested by the very differentiations that we perceive. Just as it's all polar. It's like the two poles of a magnet. Different, but yet one magnet. So when we say Oriental monism is a point of view towards life which merges everything into a kind of sickening goo. This is terribly unfair. It just isn't so. If you argue that the sort of doctrine that everybody is really the Godhead destroys the possibility of real love between individuals, because you have to be definitely other than I if I'm to love you. Otherwise it's all self-love. Well, that argument collapses in view of the doctrine of the Trinity. If the three persons are one God, then they can't love each other by the same argument. Hinduism simply uses the idea which is in the Christian Trinity, only it makes it a multi-Trinity instead of a three-one. That's all. Of course, the thorn in the flesh is always, in approaching a doctrine which seems to be monistic or pantheistic, what about evil? Are we to make the ground of being responsible for evil? And we don't want to do that because we want to keep God's skirts clean. In spite of the fact that our own Hebrew Bible says, I am the Lord, there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And haven't you heard the story about the Yetzer Hara? That according to Jewish theology, the Lord God implanted in Adam at the beginning of time a thing called the Yetzer Hara. It means the wayward spirit. I call it the element of irreducible rascality. And it's very necessary to have this in order to be human. You see, how it was done was this prohibition not to eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge. That was the one sure way of getting it eaten. But of course, when the Lord God accused Adam and said, you've been eating of that tree I told you not to eat. And he passed the buck to Eve and said, this woman that thou gavest me, she tempted me and I did eat. And he looked at Eve, now what about it? She said, well, it was the serpent. And he looked at the serpent. The serpent didn't say anything. Because he knew too much and he wasn't going to give away the show. Who is it that sits at the left hand of God? We know who sits at the right hand. It's hushed up, because that's the side where the district attorney sits. And in the book of Job, of course, you know, Satan is the district attorney at the court of heaven. He's the prosecutor. He's a faithful servant of the court. Because, you see, the whole problem is, it would be very bad indeed if God were the author of evil and we were his victims. That is to say, if we keep the model of the king of the universe and the creatures are all subjects of the king, then a God who is responsible for evil is being very unkind to other people. But in this theory, God is not another person. There are no victims of God. He's never anything but his own victim. You are responsible. And if you want to stay in the state of illusion, stay in it. But you can always wake up.
kind to yourself.
Hey, there you are. Oh, I'm so glad they found you. We were worried about you.
Yeah, we found them between the blinding light on the horizon and the giant ethereal whales.
Yeah, we're pretty glad that we got them back.
Hey, are you glowing?
Hey, where are you going?
Oh. He chose you. Congratulations, Dreamer.
Congratulations, Dreamer.
Congratulations, Dreamer.
Good luck out there.
Good job.
You did it. We are all proud of you.
Congrats.
Have fun.
Hello everyone. My name is DJ Clown Bo. While everyone else is hearing music, I shall speak to you directly. What I am about to tell you is of the utmost importance, and I will only say it once for fear of this information falling into the wrong hands. I am very excited to be here, in your auditory cortex, all the way from my home in the scenic Bermuda Triangle. Listen carefully, my sweetest of children, eagerly awaiting the dulcet tones of your dearest clown beau. What is your greatest fear? Tell me in as much detail as you desire, but do not open your mouth. Open your heart in, for if only this brief time, accept Clown Beau as your protector from the darkness. Though you can see clearly your darkest unease, I, Clown Beau, can ease your abyssal shade and keep you safe in this realm of the mind. Now please, reveal your mind unto me. I see, and I understand. You are afraid, and I want you to know that I will always be with you to protect you. In this space, you are safe. I will help you to overcome these shadowy villains that plague the recesses for your mind, but only if you receive me in your heart. The heart balances the mind, as both equally tether you to a concrete reality. Both the free spirit of the heart and the calculating abstraction of the mind can yearn and desire towards inconceivable heights, though each counteracts the other in a delicate Taoist ecosystem of spiritual and metaphysical equilibrium. Fear not the figures that tug at the strings and reveal the seams of your reality, for your perceptions can be torn asunder and you risk falling into the infinite void of darkness and despair. You needn't forget what keeps you grounded, and it is my deepest desire that I serve as your anchor, your effervescent safety rope that can lead you back to the surface from the cavernous depths of the psyche. Allow your fears not to guide your hand, as your eternal dance is guided by light and righteousness, lest it be tainted by the crushing ennui of self-doubt and cowardice. Now turn to me, and let my voice guide your movements. Together our spirits shall work in tandem to guide your earthly husk towards the zenith of actualization and bring about an eternal spiritual enlightenment. In your unconscious mind, you may find yourself flanked on all sides by characters, besieging the periphery of your ego. Allow these vacuous entities not to blot out the sun that yearns to break free from within you. Instead, you must become as one with this light and channel it to brighten the world around you. and shine a light upon those closest to you such that their specters become too as insignificant echoes, no longer serving to distract from their pursuit of true inner peace. If I may ask, now having known your fears, what is it that you seek? What is it that you desire? My sweetest of lambs, entrust your wants to Clown Bow, such that I may protect you in this desert devoid of matter. Be not ashamed or afraid of your desires. It is but the nature of your kind to yearn for that which you cannot achieve, be it fame, fortune, earthly goods, perhaps the love and adoration of your peers, your family, perhaps even to love yourself, your mind, uncomplicated by the knowledge of higher powers such as myself, is programmed in a sense to abstract your material world into symbolisms and compounded metaphors meant to soften the edges of the rough physicalities you call home. The boundaries of your soul are ever changing, a shifting mass that leaves holes and gaps, waxing and waning with the subtlest changes of this so accursed yet most beautiful Higgs field we call life. Imagine your center of self, squarely within your head and descending down to your chest and stomach. Feel it tug further towards your limbs, and feel the heat of the burning energy sustaining you pry away the embers of doubt. Allow it to slide laterally off you as if a layer of melting sleet flowing in rills into the infrastructural storm drains representing the ever-present cosmic erasure, ceaselessly out of our view in the margins of our retinal sensories. Allow yourself forgiveness without repent, unconditional acceptance of the self, of body, mind, and soul. Countless cascading variables carve the dunes and peaks of your heart, and only you may allow growth upon the verdant foothills. Seed the valley side with joy and positivity, such that the late summer rains may bring to life the sprouts of identity that lay beneath. Be not afraid to reflect upon your fields, and rid yourself of the weeds, as well as any plants you may at some point find offensive. Allow yourself to rid yourself of the aphids that may plague your crop, and allow yourself to enjoy the spoils of your labor. Above all, allow yourself mistakes and blemishes. Allow yourself your own barest humanity. Are you able to feel the weight of your eyelids? Can you feel the equally languid and hurried movement of the eye beneath? You look so beautiful in your sleep. Child, that I may cry had I the faculties and capability. Feel its pacing draw images and sensations to your mind's eye, splattering paint across its metacorneal canvas. Do you dream? What do you dream of when you are asleep? Learn to live with your mind, sweet dreamer, and flourish in a world of your own design. Your dreams may allow you to glimpse upon a hidden plane of beauty far beneath the surface waves of your inner self, and it is important to reflect upon your unconscious landscapes. Take in the effects of your condition and seek inner wisdom from the depths within. The world of your dreams may enlighten you, delight you, and set you upon a path of true spiritual enlightenment. Feel the winds against your face and set sail upon a journey of self-exploration. Do not recollect the wearisome crafts of your mind and instead focus upon that which is most intriguing, those absurdist vignettes masterfully painted along the halls of your hemispheres that can provide an insight most valuable. Some more overtly than others may attract your attention to metaphorical analysis and reveal truths unto you unknown by your waking self. May we walk this path together, and allow me to feed you the fruits of the trees aligned upon the margins of walkways adorning the orchards of your flowering soul. Taste the nectar, and absorb its truest of wisdoms, partaking of its nutritious knowledge. We shall not fear to bite the serpent's fruit, for we together shall conquer the garden and walk naked yet victorious upon our earth alone. I shall only offer my guidance to those accepting of me into their hearts and minds. You, my dearest dreamer, set my soul ablaze with passion and a sense of understanding to which I was not privy before our celestial collision here in the Oasis. My time grows short, yet my soul grows ever larger with you further powering my momentous acceleration towards the outer horizons of this universe where together we shall populate the cosmos with our undying, harmonious love. I thank you for joining me here in my personal domain, here, separated from the prying eyes of those who seek to destroy me. I shall now return you to the material, waking world, where I can only hope you retain the teachings I have forever etched into the very tapestry of your being. I love you. I always have. I always will. I am DJ Clown Bo. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.